We have another brand new vacuum from Milwaukee on the M18 platform. It's got some great features. I can just turn this on, turn it low. Is VACLINK the only major feature add to the new Milwaukee vacuum? No, it's not. We got PACKOUT integration as well. We've also got some other features to show you. Let's get started. No, you don't have double vision. And yes, we just reviewed something in the vacuum line or dust extractor line just a couple of videos ago. But we do have a brand new unit from Milwaukee, and it's the 0914-20. Now, just to give you an idea, you are seeing 4 vacuum / dust extractors here, really only one pure dust extractor, and that's the 0888-20, which we reviewed. I believe it's been, again, maybe a week or two ago, maybe few weeks ago. Anyway, that's sitting over there. That's pure dust extraction. Will it vacuum? Absolutely. Is it meant to? Sure, but not meant to be a floor vacuum. It's meant to be a dust extractor, and that's it. This is the 0914-20, as I just mentioned. This has the VACLINK technology, just like the dust extractor does, which is awesome. So basically, you get a remote that actually clips on the end of a hose. We'll show that here in a moment. And so you're able to call the vacuum on. So when you are using it for dust extraction and really even say car detailing and you're actually in the floor of the car and you get a phone call, you can hit the button, turn it off, and then turn it back on when you're ready to go, or whatever, however you're using it. You don't have to come back to the vacuum to turn it on, turn it off. We have 2 modes on this vacuum, basically what they're calling a max runtime and a max power, but basically a low and a high. With a 12-volt forged battery, you're looking at 44 minutes of runtime on low, and then on high, you're going to get about 31 minutes. So still a little over a half hour in the high setting of this, which is like 95 CFM. And if you wanted to equate that to a plug-in vacuum, it'd be kind of on the same equation or at the same level as a 3.5 horsepower shop vac. So still a lot of power and a lot of CFM coming from a single battery platform. Now you can get this is the 6-gallon, and this is what they're calling their NEXUS line. Now their NEXUS line is kind of a step up from their vacuums that they released just a couple of years ago, which is the 0920 and the 0910, 0910, and the 0920. Now the 0920 was basically a dual battery head, and the 0910 was a single battery head. Great performance out of these units, but one of the things that was missing was PACKOUT compatibility, as well as any type of remote operation. And you could see, you could buy the canvas bag, or the tote, if you will, that would actually clip onto the sides. That's a great bag for holding all of your Milwaukee air tips and different accessories for your vacuum. But again, it just kind of didn't stay really well, and just didn't meet kind of the criteria that you see on the PACKOUT side of things. So as you can see, both the dust extractor and the new NEXUS line now have PACKOUT integration built right into the machine itself. So you can obviously slide on whatever PACKOUT units you want on top of this, a tote, a toolbox, whatever you want to. It's going to integrate with any of your halves or your holes or your drink cups, your radios, whatever you want on there. Now, also what you're getting out of this new, what they're calling their NEXUS line, is sort of a modularity where you can actually stack things, not using the PACKOUT technology, but the actually NEXUS integration where this power head can come up, and in its place or in between, you can put, say, a dust separator. So if you're sucking up a lot of wood chips and wood pieces, it's going to separate the dust from the large pieces and keep that filter clean and not let things get clogged up in it. And if there is a huge clog in it, it's very easy to change out. You can also use it with their dual HEPA filter setup, so you can use it much like a dust extractor would be. So a little better dust extraction, especially if you're using this for OSHA compliance and different trades like that. That's where that system's going to come in. Use the same system and just stack it in between the power head and the unit, and it's going to handle your either dust separation or your HEPA filter needs. Hey, let us know in the comments where you have a need for a vacuum like this that includes VACLINK and or includes PACKOUT. Now, just like the prior wet-dry vacuums or shop vacs that they offered that are behind me here, we have the roll-around cart where all 4 wheels act as casters, and it does roll around quite easily. We also get 2 extension tubes, and we get a crevice tool as well as a floor tool or a wide mouth as well. So that all comes with it, as well as the roll around dolly. So that makes it very easy to store things away and also keep things nice and tidy. Also built into the unit are these slide out hose holders. So when you're wrapping your hose around, you've actually got hooks built in, or you can slide those in out of the way if you don't want to store your hose there. But if it is on there, you can wrap it around and hang it on those hooks right there, integrated into the unit. Now, there is not a holder for this, and what this is used for is if you do want to integrate this with their clip-on technology for, say, some of their new sanders and things like that, where it will actually clip onto the exhaust port, and it's not going to just slide onto the end of the hose here. And what you do is all you do, and by the way, this is lefty-tighty, righty-loosey, so reverse threads, and you're just going to thread this on. And now you can use this like on the Dust Extractor over here, same thing. And here's their M12 sander. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Just clip that on, and that's going to lock it in place. Got a nice swivel as well. And then when I want to detach it, just push the clip, and it's going to pull off. So that comes with the unit, but there's really not a place to store that. It just doesn't integrate well with the match of the other pieces, but I guess you can set it up there or put it in a drawer if you don't need it. Or put it in a pack out and load it up here on the top. Now we take a look here at the power head. Same type of clips on either side. Open it up, and here's your large filter that actually comes with it. Just a quick 1/8 of a turn or so, and that comes right off. Slide it on, turn it, and lock it, and it's in place. You can also get a fleece bag that will go in here that will both keep your bin nice and clean, as well as keep the dust and buildup out of your filter as well. I highly recommend in dusty environments, when you're vacuuming up dirt, chips, things like that, that you use the fleece bag, because like I said, you'll hardly ever have to replace your filter if you do that. And we've got a few bags coming that will actually show you what we're talking about, and we'll show you on one of our other machines as well. Now the whole interface is pretty simple. You have a power button. That's going to turn the unit on and off, and then you have a mode button to switch from low to high. One light is low, and 2 lights is high. Now, on the remote, you can call this on, and by the way, very easy to link this. All you do when you get it when it's brand new, you hold down this VACLINK button, you hold down this VACLINK button. They'll both blink green for a few seconds, and then they'll go solid green, means you're connected. And now, hit the button, turns on, hit the button, it turns off. Now, it's going to turn on and off in whatever mode you left it in last. So this is not going to change modes. So if I turn this on and turn it off, now I'm in low. If I turn this on from the VACLINK, it's in low. Now there's also a spot right here on the hose itself where this will actually slide in and clip into place. And so then it's right there on the hose as you need it. You can clip it or push the button, turn it on, push the button, turn it off. So nice metal clip, by the way, that holds it in there and holds it right there on that. You could also put this on a key ring if you wanted to and keep it that way. Now, integration of the hoses. This hose is going to go in and lock into place, so you can pull this thing around wherever you need to. Now, this will integrate with any of the hoses from the prior vacuums as well, from the 0910 or the 0920 or the 12-gallon unit, I don't remember, or the plug-in unit, I don't remember what power head that was. Should be the same. All those hoses should integrate with this one just fine. Now, what it won't integrate with is the dust extraction hose. You can see here I have the dust extractor hose. I can remove this. Now it will slide in there, but it doesn't seal, and it also doesn't lock into place. A couple of things, the actual nipples on here are integrated differently. There's actually 3 of them rather than 2. They're a lot shallower, and this is a smaller inlet as well. And you can see there's an O-ring around this one to really seal a lot better on the dust extraction side. Again, probably meeting those OSHA specifications that it needs to. And the built-in HEPA filters, everything else is going to qualify it as being certified as a dust extractor, but those hoses will not work on this one. And I don't know if they make an adapter yet or not, but for the time being, like I said, any of your prior vacuum hoses will lock into this one. While the dust extractor is actually AC and DC, meaning you can run it on two batteries, two M18 batteries, you can also plug it in with an AC power cord or your typical extension cord. With this new unit here, the 0914, it's only going to run on batteries. So this is not an AC and DC unit or a cordless and corded unit. This is only cordless. So it's going to run on your M18 battery. Highly recommend going with like an 8.0 or a 12.0 battery to run a machine like this, because you're just not going to get the runtime you need from a smaller battery. As I mentioned, it comes with the cart. Removing the vacuum from the cart is very easy. Just step down on this right here and lift it up, and it comes right out. And it is a very well-built cart, very solid. You have 4 casters that are all locking casters as well, so you can actually lock these down so it doesn't move around on you, or just kind of leave it free floating and drag it around wherever you need to by the hose. There's also an integrated handle right here as well below all the pack-out integration that gives you a place to actually lift it up. And here on the rear of the unit, you'll see the exhaust. So there's the exhaust here. If you wanted to mount a hose in there and blow with it, you could obviously do that as well. We have integrated handles on the front and back, as well as here on the top to easily carry this. And then, as I mentioned, and as you can see, integrated places to actually store these extensions, the wands, all your different accessories that you want. And here we go. Let's throw a couple of pack out things on here. You know, something we need and something we want. So now we've got our tunes as well as a bag. We want to keep our tips in or whatever. We can do so. Again, great to have that pack out integration right there on your vacuum. Now let me point something out to you that I mentioned when we open this up. You can see how nice and pretty everything is. So our filter is clean. Actually, the inside of our basket is clean, or tub, or whatever you want to call this. By the way, this is the 6 gallon. You can also get this in a 9 and 12 gallon. This power head will actually go mount on these other tubs as well. So you can actually, integrate a new power head with, if you have an existing 9 or 12 gallon, then you can absolutely use it with that. And you will also see another version of this with the 2 batteries that will also integrate with the 6, 9, or 12 gallon tubs. But anyway, back to the idea of keeping things clean. So we see this is absolutely clean. If I vacuum something up with it, without having a fleece bag in there, it's going to get filthy dirty. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's our 0920 that literally gets used in the shop quite often, as you can see by the dirtiness of it. And look at that filter. It is absolutely filthy. Not only the filter, but the tub itself is nasty. To clean that, you would have to do some major cleaning, and definitely that filter is needing to be replaced. Look at the mess I made just grabbing it and taking it out for a moment. Now let's look at this one. Again, used quite often as well. And look at there. Look at that filter. No dust flying up. Our bin is almost absolutely clean. The only reason it's not is because literally we used this without the bag a couple of times, showing this same thing. But this is what this fleece bag does, is it captures everything in there, keeps everything out of your filter, because it's keeping the vacuum's coming in, all the debris is going in this bag, air's escaping through the fleece, but none of the dust, or just very minimal dust. And then this is acting as kind of a secondary filter. But you can see how clean everything stays. I have not replaced this filter. This is still the original one it came with, but that's what that fleece bag is going to do for you. So yes, you'll pay a few bucks. I believe you can buy a 5-pack, I don't know, for 25, 30, 40 bucks. And so they're going to run you a few bucks a piece. But I'm telling you, if you're doing this a lot, it's going to keep things nice and clean. And when you're ready, just pull this out, pull this tab, and it closes up that hole. You throw it away, and you're not dealing with the dust and the mess and the nastiness. And it's back in. So highly recommend getting fleece bags when you're using not only the vacuums, but also the dust extractors as well. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take my bag out of my old shop vac or old wet dry vacuum and slide it into this one. So yeah, basically, if I didn't mention, these, just like the tubs, are going to be the same. Obviously, the dust bags, you're going to use the same fleece bags that you would in the 910 and 920. So the same bag that works in the 910 model, the 6-gallon, will work here in the 0914 as well. So basically, any of your 6 gallons will work in the 6 gallons, your 9s, the 9s, and 12s, the 12s. Obviously, if the tubs are the same, the fleece bags are going to be the same, but they are going to be larger based on the size of the actual tub. So now I've got a fleece bag in here. Let's vacuum some stuff up and see what we get. So right here, we've got a little dirt, we've got a little sand, we've got a little oil dry, we've got some wood chippings and wood shavings and sawdust in there, just kind of a general montage of filth. And we'll show you vacuuming this up and then kind of the aftermath. And by the way, one thing pretty cool, the accessories, tools, the crevice tool, the floor sweep, whatever you want to call this, wide mouth, it will actually go right on the handle, as well as the extensions will go on here as well, and then slide on there also. Also, any of your larger diameter hoses as well, they will also work with. So you can go with this iteration of hoses, or even, I believe the plug-in model has a larger diameter hose, but all the accessories will still work with it. And I can just turn this on. We're in low. So not too shabby at all to be in low, vacuum up that. No issues whatsoever. I didn't expect to, but let's take a look now inside the unit. And you may say, well, Tim, that wasn't a lot of stuff. And you're right, it wasn't a lot of stuff. But I can promise you, we would be able to see the remnants of it in the filter if we didn't have a bag. But let's take a look, real time here. You can see that filter is still nice and pretty and blue. And the inside of our vacuum is nice and clean. So our fleece bag is catching everything and keeping our filter and our tub all nice and pretty, so it doesn't get dirty and we don't have to breathe that stuff floating in the atmosphere. Now, VACLINK is an excellent add to the vacuum series. It just totally makes sense, especially when you're using a tool and using it for dust extraction, or you're using it for auto detailing, boat detailing, you name it, where the power head may be 20 feet away, you've got a hose extension, everything else. You get a phone call, you got to answer that phone call, and then you don't have to climb down, turn it off, and climb down and turn it back on. You can do that right there from the remote, so that's an excellent add. Obviously, the PACKOUT integration, another huge add. The ability to use the many different SKUs of PACKOUT products with the vacuum just totally makes sense, especially with the vacuum. It seems like we have more and more accessories to use with them, so we need a place to put all those things. We love the hose hooks in here as well. By the way, there's also a large fluid drain in here. If you are using it for wet things, you can easily unscrew that and dump the entire 6 gallons, 9 gallons, 12 gallons, whatever tub you're using, and to be able to expel that very quickly. Now, pricing on this is $299 as a bare tool, meaning you're not going to get a battery, but you will get the hose, the 6-gallon tub, the roll-around dolly, as well as the power head, and that's going to run you $299. You're also going to get the other accessories, the crevice tool, the extensions, as well as the floor tool or the wide mouth tool, and also the clip-on accessory as well, to be able to convert this over and use it to clip on the existing Milwaukee tools as for dust extraction. Now, if you saw our review or you've seen the pricing of the dust extractor, then you'll realize there's quite a bit of price difference between this and a dust extractor. And there's a reason for that, because when you're labeling it as a dust extractor, there's many things you have to adhere to meet the OSHA regulations and things like that, with the dual HEPA filters and how you handle cleaning those things. And all of those features built in is going to require a heavier price tag, which it does. So again, you're just needing a shop vac and casual dust extraction. This is a great unit for you. Check it out. Also keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. But by all means, if you hated our video, well, give us a thumbs down. But let us know in the comments why. Have a great day. Keep smiling.